my head. And just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my
Frank
head.
Jr., how are you? Oh.
I'm tired and hungry.
Well, why didn't you eat?
I don't have time. I'm fixing everybody's stuff in the back.
Man, you need to have like more snack bars in your life. Things that you can just like quick, like take a bite, work, take a bite.
Yeah, I can't take the mask off anymore when I'm back there half the time, so I can't eat anything. Just to be clear, big floppy donkey dick is on the table, right?
Yes.
I've been told I'm allowed to say bad words, so I'm going to make sure I utilize that.
Yeah,
as possible.
I don't want to censor anybody. Now, if granted, we want to upload this to some medium source that somebody might get offended if there's curse words, okay, maybe we can throw in some bloops. Maybe have some 8-bit bloops, right?
Big floppy donkey. Hey, so you have fun with this. Let's see how much I can curse and see how many sound effects you could find.
Making my job harder.
You can't repeat.
I know. Like,
any of the bleeps. It has to be a different 8-bit bleep every time.
Oh, so
man. Well, good thing I have all the Street Fighter death sound effects just on my computer ready to go.
Nice.
So you got at least, like 12 right there.
Just going to roll out a George Carlin skit or two, and we'll be fine. We'll keep you busy for days.
So just to let you know, I'm paying for this man.
That's even better.
So the more time, well, here's the other thing. We agreed on a flat rate for this first podcast.
Oh, I get paid too? Neat.
No, you don't get paid. Except, actually, no. I'm sorry, you do get paid because there's a couple controllers here that I need to pick up. One of them actually could get repaired. I don't know if you remember that, the PS4 controller. And then there was a PS2 Mortal Kombat controller.
He's going away with his tail on his legs right now. He's like, oh, crap, more work.
Yeah, that, and there was a PS4 controller with it.
Good job, Mike.
So, Frank Jr., you are a classic game junkie. Is this like your business alone? Like, this is you?
I mean, it started that way, but it's pretty much I've absorbed a whole bunch of people along the way, and they've come along for the ride, and I couldn't have done it without them.
Mike being one of those guys who's become absorbed.
Yeah, he's definitely been absorbed. My wife, my father, my mother, my brother.
A few people.
Oh,
it's just true. I definitely look like I've absorbed a few things along the way. Dude, when I started this business, I think I was like 170 pounds, and I think I've doubled that. No, I definitely haven't doubled it. Yeah, but dude, everybody helped. Everybody took on a part. Like, this place wouldn't be here if my wife didn't pick the spot.
The ceiling tiles. That's a nice little touch. Were those donated by people?
It's just, one day I said, hey, wouldn't it be neat if the ceiling tiles had video game art on them? I'm like, well, I'm not going to do it. So I just like, anybody want to do video game art for this thing? They're like, yeah, sure, let's go.
Dude, that Symphony in the Night one is incredible. That one with the shading and everything.
That's insane artwork.
Yeah, I'm going to get a nice picture of that before I leave.
You should. This Metroid one was the first one that we got Samus up here, and it's just, most of these are incredible.
Heck yeah, man. Local artists, right?
Yeah, if anybody wants to do one, I will not pay you and give you nothing. I'm really sorry. But if you want to have it in here so people can look at it every day, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like advertising for people.
We'll get you this free ceiling tile out of it. It's awesome. They're like $9 at Home Depot.
So, yeah, your inspiration for starting this, I mean, obviously you collected video games.
I've been into games since I was a kid. It's not a surprise. I had two things on the ground. I played a lot of ice hockey, and I played a lot of video games. I was always doing one of those two things. All right? It started with Atari. Dad got me Atari. We used to play Adventure. Used to play Maze Craze. I don't even know if anybody played Maze Craze. It was kind of stupid. It was a dot. Just chase each other around. It's like Cops and Robbers or something. But Adventure, and played out with my pops, and then one day he got me a Nintendo. Well, he didn't get me a Nintendo. I went over to my cousin's house. There was like the rich aunt and stuff, so they always had the new stuff that came out. Didn't matter what it was. I'm like, what is this? And it was more than one screen, and we're going to the left and the right. The shit keeps going. And I'm like, oh wow, dude, it's not just one screen, and the shit's not blinking and everething.
Oh man!
And going up and down with Mario, I was like, I have to have this. Hooked after that, and I saved up every penny I had for like a couple months. My aunt got it for me. She covered, I think, half of it. I'm not really sure. This is a long time. I was like 8, dude. And she brought it over to my house, and my mom was having one of those Tupperware parties in the living room. You had a whole bunch of people over. I didn't give a shit about Tupperware. I didn't like, pop in. I'm like, fuck about that. And keep my noodles fucking fresh. But all I know is my aunt came in with the box, and I was like, holy shit! It's fucking No. So I got that. I ran up to my parents' room and hooked it up on like the 4-inch TV, whatever the hell we had. It was like a 19-inch color TV. And dude, I must have played Super Mario 1 for like 9 hours, and I was terrible at it. So, like I did not beat Mario until I was like 5 years later. I wasn't good at games to start. Okay,
Interesting.
I'm okay now. I can beat almost anything. That's how everything started. That was like the roots.
And now here you are without enough time to hardly play anything.
All I do is fix everybody else's stuff so that they can play.
Right.
Now, I still find time every night to do it. I play a lot on my Switch.
Okay.
Because I can play it in bed and while I'm taking a plop.
Right.
So those are the important times to be able to play a game. Fill in the blank spaces. Question.
Yes.
The advent of cell phones and Switches, how much extra time do you spend on a toilet just because you're there? Like, you're done your business. You've plopped, you've dropped, and maybe you've wiped, but you're still fucking sitting there doing something, right?
It depends on the person. Some people definitely. But I like my brother, for example. I know, like, before he had a smartphone, he would just sit there, like, read a magazine, maybe have a Playboy, read the joke section, Myself, I'm like hit and miss, like sometimes, I'm sitting there for 15, 20 minutes playing a game. That thing right there, that's like my main gaming system now because of how convenient it is.
I'm not going to touch your phone.
Well, I wash my hands afterwards.
In case of pink eye accident?
So yeah, I'm like really big into convenient gaming, and then also, of course, like the whole idea of free games is wonderful.
That was the floor, right? The floor's creaky because I heard.
Yeah. I noticed over here, like.
I heard some bust ass
type
of
there it is. Yeah,
I was looking around. I was like, it wasn't me, and it usually is. So I'm really curious right now.
That was definitely the floor right here. So if it drops, it's okay. I'll get over it. Yeah.
If it drops, we'll reposition ourselves.
You guys did some serious business.
Continue the footage from downstairs in the basement.
Portable gaming. You got on the go.
Yeah. So because one of my favorite games to play recently over the past 5 years has been EverQuest. But I just don't have the time.
That's still around?
Yes. It's been over 20 years, still expansions coming out. That many people are still dedicated to it, man.
I haven't played that since like PS2, maybe?
Oh, yeah. PS2 EverQuest wasn't even really EverQuest. That was like a different... It was a different EverQuest like creature that didn't last for very long.
I had fun with it for a limited time. That PS2 hard drive.
Yeah, I didn't even get to touch it by the time like I could have. It was already dead. But anyway, so you opened this business when? Like how long ago?
The actual storefront here in 2010, roughly in the summer, June-ish.
Okay. So a little bit over 10 years.
But the business technically existed several years before that.
Okay.
I've told this story before. I was running it out of a shed.
Nice.
Like in the back of my parents' house at the time. I was younger, I didn't have my own place yet.
Right. So did you mostly like sell stuff through eBay? Like
I discovered, like everybody else has, going to the flea markets, picking stuff up. The talent that I discovered that I had was I was able to fix a lot of stuff.
Right.
And man, like everything you buy is broken. I don't know if anybody goes thrifting or like garage selling.
Sometimes, yeah.
40-50% of what you get, something's wrong. I had a knack for just fixing it up. So
nice.
I was able to buy the crap and turn it into the gold. Better than a new one, in most cases. So
you built up to I wasn't here for the initial years of the storefront. Like, I didn't move down to the area until 2017, 18, something like that. And my girlfriend knew about this place. And I'm like, this store is amazing. I got to come in. I got to see it. I've seen it evolve a little bit. I'm curious, was, like, this entire space, like, was it this size when you got the storefront?
No, if you get a shot of the ceiling later, there's a big barrier in the middle. When we got this place initially, it was just half. And it was... It was bigger than anything I expected to have. My wife found the place. I said, we were getting in trouble for doing all the business out of the shed. Had people come to the house buying things. I was just like, it's not good.
Yeah, right.
And I said, Nick, if you find me a place, I'll make it work. So we hit the ground running with this half, and there was like a hat shop here, like a woman's Sunday dress hat shop.
Right.
It was cool. And she had a lot of things. She had her big customer base and whatnot. And I remember, like, we were here for like 6 months, maybe 8 months, and she was just like, I know you want this other side of the store. I'm like, I didn't think about it, but I mean, it kind of be cool to make the place bigger. We seem to be doing right. She goes, you have so many people coming in and out of the vestibule. You guys are driving me crazy. I love yous, but you're driving me crazy. She said, I'm going to go move to a quieter place. And I was like, cool.
Nice.
Right. It wasn't like bad either. It was like a totally nice thing. She's like, I just want my quiet back.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And within the first year, we had busted through the wall, and the landlord built us all out, and it became a way bigger project than I ever imagined. And it's just been like growing organically ever since. We just keep finding more places to put shit and switching stuff around. We have so much stuff here. We have to get it on the walls. There's not enough labor in the world like here. We're working our butts off.
Yeah, the basement. I mean, like I'm almost tempted to get a little walkthrough of the basement, but I don't. That's not necessary.
We'll talk at the end. It's been done, but it's a little more under control now, but I'm a little scared of the basement. I get frustrated when I see it.
Right.
I just bought a lot of shelving, and we put a floor down. So
yeah, the floor, I love that. Now you got stuff raised up off the ground, so it's not just like
shelves. It's
water
not
damage.
Yeah, we don't have like the leaning tower of Nintendos anymore.
Right.
You know, like
yeah, there's a lot more organization down there. I'm definitely impressed with the progress that has been made.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. Well, we're working on getting product up here. A lot of this stuff is good and worth it. We finally started with this pandemic. We've been pounding through games. Like people are buying PS2, Xbox stuff that sat for 360s. Wii is insane right now. You know, I never thought I need to buy another fucking Wii in my entire life. Like a year ago, I was like, "Oh fuck, dude! Somebody's coming in with another Wii. How do I tell them that their thing is worth jack shit to me?" And now I'm like, "Holy shit, guys! All those Wiis we turned away. Like we could have sold every one. They're selling for like $100 now.
Wow!
I couldn't even. I was turning people away. They're like, "Just give me $20." I'm like, "Dude, I have like 400 of them."
Wow!
People got to do exercise. They want to re-bowl again. Okay, it's a $100 bowling simulator, but. The Wii is awesome.
Oh, man. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, my girlfriend's been playing it a little bit here and there. It's like, man, there's still good stuff on there. Like, her Wii, she has Super Metroid on it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, I started blasting through that like a couple years ago just because I love running through that game. Like, man, can I get it under 3 hours? You know, like, yeah, if you get it under 3 hours, you get like the special ending where you see Samus without the suit on.
I remember when Super Metroid came out, I rented it. And I was really excited about it. Me and my buddy Andy, we holed up in my sister's bedroom. I don't know why. I guess she had the Super Nintendo at the time, and I was doing something else. But we went in there, and I was like, "Oh, dude, we got to beat this in one night because it's got to go back to the rental store tomorrow." So we sat there till like 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, we didn't have any guides. We didn't have because it just came out.
Oh man!
So we plowed through. We were like, "We did it, dude! We did it!"
You actually beat it without a guide.
Well, we beat it in one night, man.
Wow.
We beat it. We played it from like 6 p.m. until whenever the hell we actually beat it, and then passed out.
That's actually pretty impressive because there was some stuff in that game where I was like, a little tough for me to figure out without having a guide. I'm pretty sure the first time I played through it, I did have a guide because there's just like the feeling of how many items am I missing, and
well, I didn't
like,
say we completed it at 100% or nothing, but we beat the game.
Right.
We at the time we found Super Metroid to be a lot easier because it had in-game mapping. You know, it actually mapped you and showed you things.
Yeah, the original Metroid was god,
like fucking graph paper.
Oh. Dude, that
remember that?
Dude, and the original Metroid had stuff in it that was very much like Simon's Quest, where it's like there's absolutely no way you would figure this out without having a guide.
They're still finding shit in games from 20 years ago that they're like, we never would have figured that out. We were on the Wii for 1 second though. Punch Out for the Wii was incredible. I just want to throw that out there, okay?
I never played it, actually.
It's so faithful to the original game.
Nice.
It's beautiful, and you got to beat up Donkey Kong at the end, which...
Oh, that's cool.
I never beat the Wii one, but it plays exactly the same. They didn't change any of the formula.
So you say Wii Super Punch Out, or Wii Punch Out, and I picture, like... You can like
they have motion controls in it, but fuck that. Just use a regular controller.
Yeah, left, right, A, B.
You
know, start to do the super punch.
Yeah, and it plays perfect. It's so
nice.
It was so good. I heard they might be doing another Mike Tyson game.
Nice.
Because Mikey was all up in about it. He's like, "Yo, I want to do another Mike Tyson punch out." You know, like I would love him to see a new Mike Tyson Punch Out on the Switch.
Yeah.
That would make my day.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, especially because like with Mike Tyson's Punch Out, actually, there was a time that I saw Punch Out. I think it was on Wii, like it was like for download. Mike Tyson's name was removed from it.
Well, they got the Mr. Dream one. They lost the license. A lot of people tried to say it was because of the legal things that were happening back then, but I'm pretty sure that they just lost the license. It was expired. And
right,
like,
they didn't renew it.
Because of the legal things, they're like, we're not going to pay him more money. He's got his own little issue.
Right.
So Mr. Dream was born. And basically, you know, just white-skinned Mike Tyson.
There it is. Punch Out without the mic.
Oh, yeah, there's Punch-Out without Mike. Still, the same amazing game.
Right.
Okay?
And Mr. Dream, does he have the same ridiculous fight mechanics that
all
Tyson
the same
did?
everything.
Wow,
It
interesting.
Just no personality. Nobody remembers Mr. Dream. Like, what did Mr. Dream do? He was White Mike Tyson.
I remember hearing the name, but I didn't actually know that's what it was, and I didn't know that was like tied in with why there's Punch Out and Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
I don't think did Mr. Dream appear after that? Was he in Super Punch Out? Did Mr. Dream exist after Punch Out?
I think was he not in the Super Punch Out?
I don't remember.
Maybe, but I actually never played that one.
Because I
mean, by the time Super Nintendo came around, I was like role playing games all the way, like
Super
Legend of
Punch Out's
Zelda
good.
and
It's phenomenal.
dude, Final Fantasy III, Chrono Trigger. I mean, SquareSoft was a juggernaut in Super Nintendo. I mean, the Phantasy Star series was cool.
I never played Phantasy Star.
Sega had some gems. Phantasy Star is awesome for the story.
Does it play similar? I can't believe I admit that out loud.
Turn-based, slow, not a lot of graphical things to look at. So Phantasy Star, in some ways, in my opinion, was a little bit
die.
weaker. But
Cables everywhere.
Pay him to break his neck? 'Cause, I mean,
then I don't gotta pay him.
it's like Jackass. It'd be fun. Do it.
Wait, can we have this agreement that, like, if you die, I get to keep your stuff?
Well, that's not fun because I have a heart condition, so.
Oh my God! Who invited this guy?
So your odds are pretty high.
Damn it.
God.
All right, you know what? I'm
Nobody
sorry.
scare him, please.
So I'm sorry. Let's go back to your wife can have your stuff. I'm sorry. I won't try to keep it.
She'll sell in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but
One heartbeat, which is about all he's got left. I'm sorry, that was so mean. I apologize. You're such a nice guy, but you're just laying him out there.
so yeah, there was a time that I was here. I can't remember like how many times I'd been here, but I remember one day you just being like, "I love you."
Oh, I'm a nice guy. I can't.
I know, and that stuck with me because you don't hear that too often from strangers, let alone like a store owner.
If you make me feel good for a couple minutes, I don't know. I just want to make you feel good back. I'm serious. I'm not
That's
talking
awesome.
About, anything
yeah, right.
weird, but,
Yeah, you mean in a
certain
very,
level we get
in
to
a
go
very
to.
like conversational, friendly way. You mean?
I like people. I mean, after they all leave, I got plenty to say, but I like people when they're here. You know, people drive me insane. But, I'll tell her, man, I can't stand people. She goes, you're so full of shit. You love people. I'm like, I do. I always try to see the best in everybody, even as they're screwing me right in the ass. It's the truth. I figure everybody's got something good about them.
Now, first off, that reminds me a lot of like something a woman was telling me recently, that she practices trusting in positive intent, which I love because most people don't think that way. Most people are very guarded. They're afraid of if they're open and honest enough, people are going to take advantage of them and screw them over. And clearly, you don't really live that way. Even when people have betrayed you, you're still an open, trusting person.
But to a certain point, I'm
Right.
open, not necessarily trusting, but open
Well,
to
I mean,
the
but
possibility.
you're allowing for this.
Sure.
Actually, my girlfriend even sent me like a liability release form, like
cool.
in case you wanted to sign it, which I didn't even print out. It's like, okay, I can pull it up
Who
on
we
my
suing?
email.
What do we
but-
do?
Well, I mean,
Don't trip. He's a step away from death over here, so we got to watch that. I'm not responsible. Don't drink any energy drinks. They're bad for your heart.
Oh man, and he loves them.
Yeah, they're
Don't
really
tell
bad.
him
You actually
that.
drink energy drinks?
Oh, hell no.
I was going to say, dude,
Oh,
that's
really?
really bad.
I used to.
Oh.
I used to be a Monster Rehab fanatic.
All right, back to topic.
Yes, back to topic.
Easy to get off. Topic. Off
What I'm
topic.
doing here is I'm focusing on local businesses. Now, you don't need that much help.
Don't oversell it. I mean, come on.
All right. I'm sorry.
I
you
love
need
all
help.
of you people, and I need all the help we can get. We're doing pretty good, though. But, I mean,
Specifically him. He
But-
needs all the help.
Right, you can use more help. Wait, actually, one thing that you could use, more
money.
business help or money. Okay, so like, I mean, what kind of help do you need other than maybe some mental or maybe
Tons.
maybe some
No,
physical?
I don't need any. I need people to just come in and understand that everything sucks right now, and we're trying as hard as we can. Outside of that, everything's pretty. People have been good. They really have. There's the occasional person who comes in and wants to cause a stink about like a mask or something. And what do you want me to do, man? It is what it is. This is where we are. I don't like it, but I mean, I'm gonna just do what I got to do.
So part of what I'm doing here, I mean, obviously I have my long-term dreams of like, yeah, I'd love to do my own podcast, but in my mind, the best way to even get to the possibility of being able to do something for fun like that, just open-ended conversations with random people.
I know, you just found me on the street. I don't know this place.
Come in here real quick.
Come here, pretend you own this place. You're like, cool. Do I at least get a monster rehab? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, buddy.
It occurred to me that most people don't really care about having somebody without any kind of credentials come into their podcast. I had 4 people tell me I should start my own. And then I realized, okay, well, I can't just start one.
Sure you can.
Well, I can, but in order to make it better, as good as I want it to be, I need help. So I brought in help.
That guy.
But I need to pay him. So now I'm like, okay, so if I start focusing on local businesses, because a lot of local businesses need help.
That's true.
That is for real. They are struggling hard. You got all these big corporate chain places that are thriving in this environment, and little restaurants that meanwhile can barely keep afloat. That's what I'm looking at. Like, I want to do a bunch of local business podcasts.
We'll put that away because that's going to start blowing up in about 2 seconds.
Uh-oh.
Let's put it in the back room.
Quick, hide it.
It's like a bomb, dude. As soon as that starts dinging, it's going to ding, 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 ding,
And
ding
you
forever.
couldn't silence it?
I didn't think about it. I didn't want to look at my phone while I was sitting here because I would have been a dick. I mean, we're way past that point already. It already told you it's going to keep going. I'm in too many Facebook group texts, and then somebody says something, and then
Right.
You know how it is. Come on, into the yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, with your history, I imagine that your networking cloud is pretty active.
Man, you're making my head bigger than it already is. It's
I'm
just a lot of
sorry.
people.
All right. So I gotta shrink your head somehow. So in what ways can I humble you? Talk about your flaws. What makes you a terrible person?
I don't think anything makes me a terrible person. I have terrible anxiety.
Yeah.
And it cripples me sometimes. Oh, man, we're getting real now, aren't we?
Oh,
This is
yeah.
like a confessional.
Well, see, I love being open and honest. Like me personally, okay, the worst anxiety I had was when quarantine started.
Yeah, it was pretty rough because, everybody thinks they're basically going to die. We had some deaths, so some family members and some family members of some employees. So it kind
Right.
of hit us a little harder when we were looking, and we were like, this sucks.
Right.
We don't want to repeat that. And then one of my employees got sick, and his mom got very sick, and she's okay now.
Good.
But it was not like a flu for her. I'd say that.
Right,
From what I
right.
understand, she had a rough time.
And that's the whole thing. Like, I see both sides of it,
Yeah.
But for me, I didn't see enough reason to feel afraid of...
Not COVID. Sorry. I had to clear my throat. I was clearing my throat, I promise.
For me, it was not a matter, I wasn't feeling that afraid, but I've also been in a mentality of living without fear. But I've been practicing that for a long time, which is what brought me to this point where I'm feeling very comfortable in my environment.
Just do what I need to do, and wash my hands, wear my mask. And,
Yeah, you got the hand sanitizer right up front. You have the people come in with masks. Yeah, you have the 5-person limit.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep people safe, but do our business, and I don't know, just do what we're told, do what people suggested so we can feel comfortable. I want my guys to feel comfortable.
Right.
I want the customers to feel comfortable. I don't want to piss anybody off.
Yeah.
It's a tightrope that we all have to walk as business owners. Guys, it's really hard because, everybody has an opinion, but, we're
Right.
all really trying, I swear.
Yeah, right. And and that's part of what makes me a little bit nervous as far as being a business owner. If I was to start my own business thing, all of a sudden I have to abide by all these regulations. I have to follow by all these rules that are imposed upon me by society. And as a business owner, I imagine that's been very difficult, even before quarantine.
I got to be honest. Our customer base, look, I don't know why, maybe better or worse, for the most part, we've had problems, don't get me wrong, have been very good, understanding people. They've come in, they've done what we asked. Whether they like it, agree with it, they just do it. It's cool. It makes my guys comfortable. It makes me feel like I could just get done what we need to do, and we can help everybody.
Right.
And I think my people have been pretty damn good, and their customers have been too. I thank you so much, guys. If any of you are watching, you've been great, really.
Heck
It's
yeah.
I could count on one hand the amount of true people who gave us issues.
That's pretty amazing to have hundreds of customers.
This place is going to burn
thousands.
to the ground tomorrow. There's no chance. 40 people with pitchforks ready to take us to task.
All right, so we're getting close to a half-hour mark here.
Already?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like this, like having amazing conversations, it just goes away.
All right, real quick. Favorite 16-bit era game?
What are you talking? Genesis or Super
16-bit
Nintendo?
era game. Come on, it's a
That was
simple
Genesis or Super Nintendo.
That's either one. It's 16-bit.
All right, Super Nintendo. Well, see, I always
First thing
considered
that comes to
Super.
your mind, you're already getting into it too much. First thing.
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger. There you go.
Now,
Beautiful.
but Super Nintendo, I always thought it was 24-bit when I was younger.
Well, you were wrong.
Yeah, clearly. Clearly, when I was younger. So, like, in my mind, I still, as a creature of habit, I still go back to 24-bit in my mind because, to me, Super Nintendo was a step above Genesis.
That's cute that you say when I was younger because that implies that could have been like yesterday and you finally figured it out.
Oh, no, it was over 20 years ago, bro.
He was looking this up last night. I want to look at the full. It was 24-bit.
Dude, I want to keep this going. I want to like find more businesses. I want to keep networking, and I want to like. So my thing is, I have a limited amount of income, and I'm hoping to find a sponsor. And I'm hoping like, hey, maybe James Rolfe would be willing to sponsor a couple of episodes and keep it going. But I don't want to ask you, but. If you're willing to donate, I'll give you shout-outs in the next podcast. All that good stuff.
Well, nothing like putting me on the spot in the middle of the podcast.
Well,
Good
it's
job.
at the end of the it's at the end of the podcast. It's at the end of the
Where's the
podcast.
checkbook, Mike? Jeez, I don't pay this guy to go away.
It's at the end of the podcast, and that's the whole thing. Like I'm just saying, you can if you want to, but. Moving right along.
I have an idea for you when we're done. We'll talk. It's probably not what you were thinking at all, but it's probably the best thing that might be for you.
Nice, cool.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no pee-pee touch, though.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I have a girlfriend at home. You got a wife. You know, we got other things that are more important than intimately touching each other.
Do we, though?
I think. I could be wrong.
No pee-pee touch. You never said no intimate touching.
So yeah, I guess the video feed is it already done? It's
Oh,
still
we
going.
got pee-pee touching was a part of the podcast? That's a
That's still a part of the podcast, man. There is pee-pee touch in there.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, I thought we were in, like, the post-credit scene or something like
Well, I mean, yeah, the credits could be rolling. I'm sorry, Mike. What was that?
We went from Donkey Dong to pee-pee touch.
At least we ended
came full
as
circle.
strong as we started, okay?
Yes.
That's very important.
It came full circle. That's
Usually
beautiful.
when you end something, you thank him and then say, "All right, see ya," or so, there's usually an ending. But
Right.
if you want me to cut it at pee-pee touch, I mean, I can. That's a great ending for me.
I mean, you could. I mean, I
How
also.
about we all just say pee-pee touch and cut the thing? 1, 2, 3, pee-pee touch!
Need some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job, those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling, but there's one thing I know. The blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying